Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the channel where we do all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be looking at the Pokemon Shodo line by Bandai number 4 Dragapult. So for those who are unfamiliar with this line, these are miniature model kits, mini model kits. Okay, they are completely different from the Pokeplaymo, Pokepla line, because the Pokepla line figures are substantially bigger. So these are smaller and much more easy to build model kits. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly take a look at the packaging. So at the front, we have a very nice product shot of Dragapult here. We do have the Shodo line World Fun action figure. It's called that because they are, marketed to show their superb articulation, because usually for figures this small, they are pretty well articulated. So you have number Pokemon 7 here. I'm not too sure. The 7 is the series 7 and Dragapult is number 4 from the series. So at the sides, we don't have much, just some Japanese writing. At the top, we have another product shot of Dragapult with his mouth open. Yes, his mouth does open. At the back, at the bottom, we do have an advertisement for the Pokemon Kids line. I don't really collect this line, but I always thought they were pretty cute. At the back is where we really want to take a look at the figure itself. You can see him in all sorts of poses. You can actually see that he's pretty well articulated. And you also see that he does not come, I'm so sorry about that, but you can get this separately. This is the effect part, which includes 2 Dreepies, which is pretty cute because it, Dragapult launches Dreepies. That's kind of sad, but I guess he does that. But yeah, so the effect parts, they come separately right over here. So number 5, okay, if you buy box number 5, you get effect parts for all the Pokemons from number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So number 1 we have Arceus, number 2 we have Glaceon, and number 3 we have Alakazam. I am getting the Alakazam. I already ordered him. He is on the way and I should be doing a review of him soon. I did not get the Glaceon and the Arceus because for the Arceus I opted for the Pokemon Playmo line. So let's put this aside and quickly take a look at the figurine itself. So Dragapult, he comes with a stand. As you can see, I'm going to just kind of pop him out of the stand. And let's take a look at the figure itself. So as you can see, he is pretty decently sized. I tried to compare all my figures to the 120 scale line, and based on the images of the 120 scale line you see here, I think he comes pretty close. He is just a bit smaller, in terms of the fin size, just in terms of this size, the height. He is a bit smaller, but I actually think he's a very good substitute to the scale world if you can't get your hands on. And we're going to look at why. Okay, so first of all, design wise, he looks like a Dragapult. All right, okay, he looks very good, very nice, exactly like how Dragapult should look like. Okay, we do have the details on the Dreepy. If that, if the camera focuses, we can see the details on the Dreepy. They are not excellent, they're not fantastic, but they're pretty decent. I mean, considering the size. The face, the eyes on the Dragapult are done very well. The paint job is pretty decent for the model kit. Everything's covered in very well. I personally do not see, except for that little mark, I do not see anything else wrong with my paint job on my Dragapult. So yeah, so that's how it looks overall. He does look good. We do have the port here. This is for the stand, which I will show later on. To have that hinge here that's visible, but other than that, I think design wise he looks very good. And also we do have that little transparent tail at the end here. I do wish that this entire part was the transparent ghostly effect. That would look much better. I'm not too sure if you took a look at the Takara Tomy one. If you can see over here, the Takara Tomy one has more of these transparent effect, which looks better, and I think that they could have implemented here. But nonetheless, let's take a look at his articulation. So he does move up all the way up here, so you can get a joint right over here, which is excellent, really nicely done. His mouth does open, but I do not have the fingernails to be doing that, so I'm not going to try. Okay, you need fingernails to kind of open his mouth. So, but you already seen it. Yeah, you already see the product shot, so I'm not going to try to open his mouth. And then after that, we can rotate back the head, and he does get a full 360 motion. The head does tend to come out occasionally, but it's not the best fit. I guess it's all right depending on the figure. Not all the figures are the same. And also, just to let you know one more thing, that these are model kits. Just to remind you, these are model kits. So over time you might tend to see your joints being a bit loose. And it's funny because you can see a product shot of here how it comes along. Inside the packaging, they come separated in tiny pieces, and we do have a little bit of instructions right inside the box. I'm not sure. I'm not going to open the box. I'm not going to break it, but you can kind of see there's a bit of instructions there to kind of just show him how to attach the head and put it on a stand. In case a kid needs one. But let's go back to the articulation. So for the hands, okay, for the arms, they do go up like that, and they can move up forward, but because of how it's hindered by the head, they can't really make a rotation. Also, they do come down like that, and same problem, because the legs here, they can't really make a rotation. They go back up, and they can kind of come out just a bit and go in just a bit, just very minimal. So the arms are not the most articulated, but I think it's very decent. Okay, this is where I'm not a favorite of because of the legs. I mean, okay, yes, we do get decent articulation. It does come out this way, it does go in that way, and also it does make it 360, full 360, but I am not a fan of that gap. Oh my goodness, I wish they had painted this in this color, so at least it wouldn't be so visible. But I mean, what can I do, right? These are model kits, the joints are painted that way. I do wish they were painted the same thing, but okay, can't do anything, so let's leave it at that. So that's the articulation for the legs. And for the tail itself, you can see that it does go up this much. That's all, and then it does go back this much. So the body, there's no articulation in the body, there's no torso articulation. So let's get back to the tail. We do have a rotation here, so you do get a full 360 rotation, and right over here as well you can actually see the joint. They are a bit more tighter on this compared to the ones on the head, so that's pretty nice. And that's pretty much it for the articulation. You don't have much. The drippies, for those who are wondering, the drippies, they do not pop out. I mean, you can, this thing kind of does come out. You can try to wiggle your way out, but I wouldn't recommend that. You wouldn't want to destroy a figure, right? Anyway, let's take a look at the stand. Very simple stand, nothing much transparent, and we just kind of poured it back right here. So just poured it here, and voila, you have your Dragapult right on your stand, and that's pretty much it. So would I recommend this figure for the price you pay, okay, and how it's quite decently close to the scale world? I would definitely recommend it. I couldn't find the scale world personally. I couldn't find it over here, and even if I could find it, it's ridiculously overpriced, which I'm not going to be paying that much money for a Leon and a Dragapult. So or Dragapult in Japanese, if I got that right. But anyway, so I would definitely recommend this. So nothing much, he is pretty much in line with the scale, just a bit smaller like I mentioned. I do like the Takara Tomy one, like I said, but that's too small for my collection, so I prefer, and I went on to get the Pokemon Shodo line instead. So if you are a fan of model kits, okay, these are very simple model kits. Okay, the Shodo line model kits are really simple. It doesn't even take you 2 minutes to assemble them. That's how simple they are in comparison to the Pokemon. I do highly recommend it. So please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. See you.